Hey, welcome to the show. We're back for another Speak Pipe Live where I get to listen to your messages that you left on Speak Pipe. Once again, this is just another opportunity for you to be able to share your thoughts with the group. You know, because I like audience participation. That's my thing. That's my jam. Just to make sure that you guys can see me, you can hear me. Go ahead and hit me with a 1 in the chat. If everything is cool, you can see me, you can hear me. I sound good. Maybe not like very good, but I sound decent enough for you to be able to get through the show. All right. See. Hey, Danny Towns, what's going on? What's going on, folks? Yeah, normally we start the show on Thursday about 6 o'clock. Tonight I had to push it back. I had some things I had to deal with earlier. Hopefully that didn't create too much of a little, you know, too many problems with people's schedules. I know some folks listen to us on the way home, so hopefully I didn't upset your commute and make it longer. All right, I see some ones in the chat. Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it. Give a shout out to Rosamond, as well as I think Lizzie B's in the house. I saw her earlier. Jody Periscala's in the house. What's up? What's up? Hey, make sure you guys hit that like button. Sharon said James is number one. I appreciate it. Number one. Engage. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Awesomeness. Louder, please. Okay. Let me see if I can turn this up a little bit. Put a little more spice on it. Put some more pepper on the ball. Put some more pepper on it. All right. Let's see. I made it tonight. Okay. You made it tonight. Liz, what's going on? All right. Yeah, I'm not going to do a whole lot of rapping as a preamble because we are starting a little late and we have a good amount of Speak Pipe messages to get through. So it's your guys' show. I'm going to let you take it away. Spicy time. That's right, Nicole Aggie. It's spicy time. Time to get things spicy. Shout out to Lizzie B. I saw her earlier. Yeah, let's start off since we are speaking of the Mega Mod Squad. We'll start off with one of the Mega Mod folks because they didn't get a chance to jump in yesterday. So let's hear what they had to say. Coming to the stage first up for the Speak Pipe Extravaganza, we have Carmel Cuties.
Hey, James and my Take family. It's Carmel Cuties. I realized last night I wasn't able to say my opinion on how I feel. So I'm going to try to break this up. Maybe a few. I'm being calm right now, but it's going to get spicy in a minute. Trust and believe. I had to rewatch the episode because I actually fell asleep during Sunday night show and woke up just in time for the live. So I didn't necessarily see it for myself. The conversation between Kody and Robin regarding plural marriage and whatever else. I want to start by saying I feel so bad for Truly. I can only imagine when she did go spend the night sleeping in a room with no curtains. As I watched them talking in like the dining room area, but the living room in the front window was in the background and ain't no blinds, no curtain, no sheet, blanket, nothing covering it. It's just open space with trees in the background. Baby, that is not nothing I would want for everybody to see my whole inside of my living room as they walk by. I don't care if it is on a private road. Ridiculous. Y'all can afford some curtains. Get it together.
All right. We have a message 2.
Part 2. Now, Robin's full of shit. I'm going to come out the gate swinging. She's full of it. And so the hell is Kody. The fact that she first tries to say, oh, we all messed up in the dissolvement of their family. No, bitch, you and Kody messed up. You couldn't, if we could all sit at the table and just say, I love you and I got each other's backs. Again, he ain't never did that. Not at all throughout their marriages. So why in the hell would it all of a sudden you're reflecting that he shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you didn't stand up and speak up back when it was happening? You allowed him to have your back, make sure you and your kids were taken care of, but not once did you ever put anybody else the forefront other than your own selfish self. You selfish bitch. Sorry. Cover your ears. Told y'all it's gonna get spicy because she irks. She makes my ass itch. Her and him both. They irritate the hell out of me. Like, it just doesn't make sense how selfish and narcissistic they both can be. Now, moving on to the theory that my sis Megatron had brought up. And do I agree with the theory? I do. But I got a caveat to that. And that's this. Those in the military, we all know, who may have family and or who are in the military themselves, you have to have a will. You have to have a beneficiary. Kody can't fight a will. Kody couldn't fight for Big G's nothing. If he wasn't listed as the beneficiary, if he wasn't listed as the one in the will, he could take Janelle to court, but what the hell is he going to get? Not a damn thing, because Big G's knew what he was doing when he left everything to his mama, as he should have. Kody and Robin should have never fixed their nasty ass lips up, their mind, none of it, to think that they were entitled to anything that young man would have left behind. Life insurance policy, shit. Hell, he could have had a piggy bank of change on the dresser drawer. You ain't entitled to a damn thing other than an ass whoop. Again, my apologies. Told y'all it's gonna be spicy. All right, moving on, because they're gonna make my blood pressure go through the roof, and I'm not trying to end up in a hospital bed. So, Christine and David. David's face when Christine said about him hanging out with Kody said it all. That's all I needed to know. David is calm, cool, and collected, and I think if the cameras wouldn't have been there, he probably would have cussed Christine through the fuck out. The hell you mean he a good guy? I don't give a good goddamn. I do not. Court order, no court order. Just grandma used to say, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Christine, that was a moment you just shouldn't have said shit. Keep your mouth shut. Because you just wrote a whole ass book telling us how horrible this sorry sack of shit is. And now you want to sit on camera and act like he's one of the good guys? Get the fuck out of here. Sorry. This episode really took me for a loop. First and second time, well, first time watching, I was tired. I ain't gonna lie. But the second time, I was wide awake, driving home. And y'all playing in our faces massively. And I'm to the point now where I'm like, y'all all need y'all asses whooped. It ain't just Kody and Robin. Because Christine, ain't no way you going to try to convince me that that fool is a good dude. He ain't shit. Ain't never been shit. Ain't going to be shit. And guess what? In the future, he still ain't going to be shit. Christine, continuance part 2. Kody ain't a good guy. I had to calm my nerves for a second before I finish this one. You don't have to take a good guy to court for paternity, child support, child custody. You don't have to take him because he was already going to be active in your child's life. Even moving to Utah, he wouldn't have skipped a beat. He would have been there while y'all were still in Flagstaff. Guess what, Christine? If he was such the damn good guy, you would have never left him. There would be no David in the picture right now because you would still be with the good guy. But you know good and gosh damn well that he ain't good. Kody ain't shit. He ain't never been shit. He ain't never gonna be shit. Like I said before, he's a deadbeat. He's a bug. And he's been that way in all of the OG 13's lives since y'all went to Flagstaff, maybe even before that. For Robin to sit up here and talk about, oh, a young girl would love it. He's established. Her eggs dropped. He's such a good dad. Bullshit.
You can't even fix your raggedy ass mouth to say he's such a good dad when you see that he dogs out 13 of his other kids. And I'm including Big G's in that. Even in death, he still dogs him out. Miss me with the bullshit. Trifling ass.
All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Just give me a 1 if you guys can hear me, a 2 if you can. Still see some 2s. Uh-oh. All right. All right. We're back. We're back. I'm like, what the shit? All right. I'm like, man, I haven't had, I've had like little small Kremlin, we call them Kremlins, not gremlins. I've had small little Kremlin activity here and there, but it's not, hasn't been that bad recently. But apparently they're making up for lost time, y'all. So I am back. I am back. I am back. Thank you so much for letting me know. Otherwise, I would have been sitting there talking to myself. And the show would have been a little weird. But a little weird. Let's continue with Megatron. I think she only has a couple left. Hold on 1 second. Or not Megatron, I'm sorry. Caramel Cuties. She only has a couple left.
All right. I'm going to end this one with Mary. Mary, all I'm going to say is this. I'm annoyed at the fact that she tries to act like she's worthy to when we're watching previews of her gonna deal with her wedding dress and back in, the oh my gosh, this is my bucket of Kody stuff. Bitch, all that should have been thrown the fuck out years ago. When he told you he wasn't coming back, stop looking for him, don't worry about him. But yeah, when you was kicked out of the family a decade ago, that whole bucket should have been chucked in the pond of shit on Coyote Pass. Like, that further lets me know she's definitely holding out and holding on. And for Jen to be like, you should double kiss Robin or whisper in her ear, I still want this. The reason why all Mary could do was hysterically laugh, because that might have been the truth. She might still want that. That's why she still holds on. It's fucking pathetic. It's pathetic. Like, and I don't know what's up with her haircut. It drives me nuts. I hate looking at it. I want her to go get a keratin treatment, shave it all off, start wearing some wigs and weaves. I don't know. But the hair, it irks me even more. Do something.
I'm going to give Caramel Cuties her last speak pipe of the evening.
Okay, this will be my absolute last one. The storyline, somebody mentioned it about them building furniture and like us watching them hang pictures and whatever else. Yeah, I'm a little over it too. But even the conversation while building the desk between Mary and Jen made me want to throw up the sunflower seeds that I was eating while watching it. Like, come on now. Out of all the content y'all could have, this is what you talk about. I hope the money doesn't go into Kody's hands. It bet not go into Kody's hands. Boo, you didn't have no problem with it going in Kody's hands over the last 30 years of your marriage. Now all of a sudden, you got a little bit of big girl panties on, and you're like, oh no, it better not. Boo, it's been doing it. So quit trying to act like you're so rough and tough for the cameras when we all know you're not. If Kody told you in order to get your name on Coyote Pass, you got to give him $1,000 right now, you would have forked over the check for $1,000. So get the hell up out of here. You want that man. You still want to be a part of his life. And that is why you're so nice. You don't say nothing bad about him or whatever else. You try to act like you big and bad for the cameras, but we all know you're a little softy. Like USDA grade cotton. Soft as hell. I don't understand why they're trying to sell us the pipe
Why are they trying to sell us the pipe dream? Why are they trying to sell us the pipe dream? I don't know. Because of the money. They're doing it for the love of money. Did I upload them? No, I did not. Damn it. Damn it. For the love of money. That's why they doing it. But thank you, Carmel Kitties, for your contribution. That's the Mega Mind Carmel Kitties. We also had Zuzu.
Hi, James. This is Zuzu. I'm calling because Sunday's show has me on fire. When I tell you I am so pissed off, that is ridiculous. First off, Mary. She wants to blame Christine like, oh, she didn't will me the land or she didn't give us a piece of the land. She didn't think about us. When has Mary ever thought about Christine? Not once. Not. Let's just think back to Vegas. First off, when she decided to divorce Kody, she didn't ask Christine. She didn't ask Janelle. She didn't even let them know until she had already done it, filed the paperwork, went to court and everything. Next, when it came down to the knife and the kidney scene, she was sitting there with Christine, watching Christine get yelled at by Kody like a dog and was smirking. She had this silly little smirk on her face. And then the moment Kody acknowledged her presence, she had this big smirk or grin, as I would call it. So why would Christine care about helping her out of all people get a thing? If I was Christine, yeah, I might have helped Janelle. I might have would have said, well, I'll sign my piece over to Janelle, but I damn sure wouldn't have gave it to Mary. Next, about Mary, we don't care about her dating life or the way she wants to be in New York. Nobody cares. It's clear she don't really want a man because a person that wants a man don't act the way she acts.
All right. Go to number 2.
Hi, James. This is Zuzu. Sorry about the noise in the background, kids. But anyways, my next point goes to Kody. First off, sir, why are you trying to compete with Brody? Like, really? That man didn't know anything about what Kody was even trying to hint at. And then Aurora acting like she's 12 years old. If you're that immature, you shouldn't be dating. If you're that afraid to tell your parents that you're dating, maybe you're doing something wrong. Next, with Robin, why can't she just sit there and say, hey, sir, you're being very creepy, very rude? Like, there's no way in hell that I would allow a man to be around my children and their spouse acting like, oh, I just got to keep my hands on you. I can't stop touching you, Robin. Like, ugh. Like, it gives me the icks. It gives me the icks all over. Also, when it came down to Kody and that scene where he's trying to talk about chastity, only time I see a man do that with a woman and another person around them like that is like if you're trying to make somebody jealous. So was he trying to make his stepdaughter jealous of his relationship with her mom? Because that is creepy. Like, or was he trying to make Brody jealous of his relationship with Robin? Like, hey, look at what I got. Look at my shiny toy.
Making them jealous. Oh. Well, I will say this. I have just, I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. I will say this. I think that there is a phenomenon when people you see it a lot of times with single parents, or somebody who doesn't have a significant other. A lot of times so much focus is placed on their child or children that it almost becomes a non-sexual partnership or coupling in a way. So you'll have like moms, they'll rely on their sons almost like they're their husbands, or fathers who rely on their daughters almost like they're their wives. Like the daughter is coming home from school and she's cooking and cleaning and doing all the women's work, or the boy is supposed to be the man of the house, that kind of thing. And they elevate them almost to a position where there's like like I said, a non-sexual partnership or coupling between the two of them. And it exists too, even beyond like I said, a lot of times when people are single, but it can exist in relationships where the other partner is there. And in those cases, like because there's like weird offshoots of it where you have parent like the two parents, mother and father, and you have like say a father who has a really close relationship with his daughter, but the mother is jealous of the daughter in that relationship, even though it's not a like he's not trying to date his daughter or anything weird like that. But it's just the fact that they're so close. There's a rivalry between the two of them, like almost like she's angry with her, like she's another woman coming into a relationship. Like with fathers and sons, like angry at your son because he gets along with his mom, and you see that as an obstacle or a challenge. So, I mean, in that same line, I think that's close to what Zuzu was referring to. That you can have somebody who is acting as though, almost acting as though I'm protecting her, not because I'm trying to protect her chastity or her purity or whatever, but I'm protecting her like she's one of my girlfriends or one of my wives, almost that thing. Like this is my family, but she's a non-sexual wife or whatever. It's weird. It's weird. But thank you for that, Zuzu. Let's continue with her messages. Here we go.
Hi, James. This is Zuzu. Sorry about the noise in the background, kids.
Sorry. Here we go.
Hi, this is my final point. When it comes down to this TV show, they just need to cancel it. The storylines are getting way ridiculous. Like, nobody wants to see Aurora act like she's a 12-year-old trying to date. Nobody wants to see Mary selflessly throw Christine under the bus for the next 50 years. And nobody wants to see Kody prowl over Robin. Like, it's kind of creepy. And also, I really do think Robin is setting him up for a divorce. Like, you can see the writing on the wall. Like, she flinches every time he comes near her. Like, she kind of gets like that, please stop touching me look on her. So, I think she's just setting it up to show that, hey, I tried to endure it, but he just kept being so pushy that I didn't have a chance to. I couldn't keep going like this anymore. And as far as Christine and David and them, they're trying to push the storyline and it's not working. I mean, you can clearly see it's not working. And Christine also can't say anything bad about Kody on the show because this is around the time she filed that child support case. And that was one of the agreements that they had. So the show just needs to end overall. Have a great day.
Yeah, that's it. Cut the show. Yeah, I think that those are some strong points. Let me as I'm promised I wasn't going to jump in too much. So we're going to roll over to Anne, hear what Anne has to say.
Hi, James. This is Ann. I'll start with the positives. I will give Mary, Janelle, and Christine effort for at least showing up for the show. At least they're, giving us something. It may not be all that exciting, but they are giving us something, and it's beyond just the sister wives. Like, they're giving us a storyline of what their life looks like outside of being in a plural family. Robin and Kody still aren't, to me, completely showing up. Now, my issue, this episode really just frustrated me. As soon as it got to the scene where the daughter came in to tell them that she is now dating this guy, he asked her to be her girlfriend. That just seems so weird. It came off that she's a woman, 22 years old in this scene, but yet you would think she was 13 or 14. I personally feel that Robin's older kids, they need to move out of the state of Arizona and start spreading their wings because they're treating them like children and they are full-fledged adults at this point. Kody, the conversation with Kody and the guy and her, it seemed very weird. He's damn near trying to marry her off to this man. Let her just be herself and figure herself out. Let her figure out what type of man she wants to date.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna jump in right there. I think that that's a good point. Like when push them down to shove, I don't agree. I think because of like we talk all the time about how they were influenced by their past and their culture. In their culture, they have very short dating times, and they're very big on like in and out as far as courtship. So you start courting somebody, and before the feelings catch hold, and you really feel like blowing that back out, you want to run them down the aisle so that way they can have relations under the banner of marriage. But when it comes down to it, if you're like that and you do that, then you don't, as much as you may say, I want you guys to get to know each other, you are kind of pushing them down the aisle. And that is something that they have to figure out for themselves. In order for that relationship to work, it's not how much the parents want it or the friends want it or how much it makes sense to somebody else. It has to make sense and be something that somebody who is going to be involved with the relationship wants to happen, right? Everybody's had that person that they were dating, like, man, girl, that person is awesome. I don't know why you not just sticking with them, because it's not on my heart to be with them. Like, I don't know what it is about them, but I'm just not feeling that person the way I need to be feeling them in order for us to have a real relationship. You might like them because you thirsty as hell. Maybe you want them, and that's why you telling me I should stay with them because I have the opportunity to be with them, and you think you don't. So you're telling me that, giving me that advice, but not everybody is for everybody. And so it has to be something that comes from them. But let's continue, shall we? Oh, we already went through. We did, and let's do a Sunny Bunny. Hear what she has to say.
Hi, James. I had another tinfoil idea that I wanted to run by you. Um, Basically, I think Kody and Robin's marriage isn't going that great. And I think simply because Kody is way overcompensating when the cameras are on. And I think Robin is not giving him that what is it? His love language is touch, right? She's not giving him that kind of attention and affection through touch and proximity and whatever. So I think for Kody, when the cameras are there, they have to play the role of the happy wife and the happy husband. So he sees it as an opportunity to force Robin into a situation where she has to act out that kind of affection and give it to him in spite of not consenting to it, right? Because the cameras are rolling. And for Robin, I think she doesn't want that kind of footage out there because in case she leaves Kody and is looking to go back into the AUB and find another husband, there would be footage out there. Like all people would have to do is just look up her name and there she is, like kissing Kody like there is no tomorrow. So maybe she doesn't want that out there. Just a few thoughts.
I'm gonna have to comment on that too. Um, let's keep that shit all the way a buck. All right, let's talk about that for a second. Theory, that is an excellent point, Sunny Bunny. If Robin is looking forward to, she's setting herself up and she's talking about divorcing Kody, and there's a real possibility that might happen, then no, you don't want to have images of you falling and flaunting all over top of man and him crawling all up on top of you and curling your toes and whispering those sweet nothings and always, smacking you down. You don't want that out there, especially in a culture and community like the AUB, if that's where she's trying to go, right? She doesn't want to have videotape of her being openly sexual with this other man because, as Kody said, and I always like to do this, is kind of my thing. Like Kody said, bro, you're kissing somebody else's wife. You're kissing somebody else's wife. So she plans on divorcing you and going back into the AUB. She doesn't want to have images captured and film and video of her kissing and being in love with you, especially since she comes off to me as the type of person who likes to sit in the state of victimhood. So if she likes to sit in a state of victimhood and she wants to get that moniker, so anybody she dated treated her wrong, abused her in some kind of way, mistreated her and her kids, and was terrible. They were just awful people, and that's why you had to leave. You can't have video footage of 20 seasons of you being in love and falling over this man. What you can have is 20 seasons of you trying to love this man. What you can have is 20 seasons of you trying to make relationships work. What you can have is 20 seasons of you being a good, quiet, beautiful wife, dutiful wife, and this guy who is sitting here with 3 already failed marriages, and you're trying to make it work. You're trying to give him insight and techniques on how to make the relationship and marriages work. And then you turn around and say he wasn't even listening to me. If you look at last week's episode, when I was trying to give him my heartfelt advice on how he could make these relationships work, because I wasn't just talking about the polygamy side. I was talking about a monogamous relationship, a monogamous relationship between the two of us. He doesn't tell me across the table when we're sitting at dinner, babe, I got you. Right? And she could fold that right in. Because Kody, like it or not, already has a history of being a bad actor. And so you don't want to be the person, kind of, this is where Christine is kind of getting in trouble. You want to be the person who's sitting around making excuses, making googly eyes, and French kissing, you know, the evildoer or Victor the villain on the reality show. I'm gonna leave that there. But yeah, if you guys go to another channel and say Sunny Bunny's theory, give her credit. You know, don't do it like you did back in track. Give her credit. You know, say I heard this. Well, I mean, you can even throw me in there. I appreciate that. But give Sunny Bunny her credit, because that is a excellent point. Next up we have Sam.
Hi, James. This is Sam. And I just wanted to talk about just Kody and Robin's relationship. Robin has seemed to almost do a 180 in her relationship with Kody, and I think it could be 2 things. One, Kody is self-admitted to being exhausting. He needs all the attention all the time, and that is a lot for one person to take. But Robin is also in her mid to late 40s, which is when most women start perimenopause. And so her 180 with him could be hormonal and not something wrong with their relationship or because of the other women.
Yeah, biological. You can't- you know what I mean? Mother time is a cruel mistress, Jack. You know what I mean? Like when you get your teen years, your 20s, and maybe your 30s, like everything is just right where it need to be. And mother time get there, father time and mother nature just be like, no. We're gonna rearrange that. Yeah, those sweet treats you love to eat that sometimes put on an extra 5 pounds and you could just think about working out and just burn it right off. Yeah. Now we're gonna flip that. Father time, what you think? I don't know, Mother Nature, what you think? We're going to set up a situation where every time you even think about cake, you're going to put on 5 pounds, whether you eat it or not. And those 5 pounds will ride your back to the end of days. So, yeah, I mean, there's a possibility that she's just not feeling the hypersexuality or the hyper sexual attention that Kody is trying to push on her. And if we talk about, like, you know, not to cast any stones, because I don't know this man's medical history. Be very clear. I'm not prescribing him nothing. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. But if he's taking certain supplements, it could drive his heighten his sexual drive. And if she's in decline as far as her desire to do it, and let's be honest, you know, we all grown folks here. It's not just, sometimes it's not just the desire, it's the physical part, because there may be experiences of dryness and things of that nature. I don't get too far into it, but you understand what I mean. There might be physical parts where it makes it uncomfortable. Even if she wants to do it, it's just uncomfortable for her to do it without certain assistance. So she might not feel like, you know, this ain't something I really want to do. Like I like going to the gym. It's uncomfortable when I go though. So you don't get excited about, you're like, oh yeah, I'm excited about going. But then when you get to the parking lot, you're like, what am I doing? So it could be one of those situations. Mother Nature. So thank you so much for that. Then we have Megatron in the house.
Hey James, hey my take guys. This is Megatron here. So I know tonight's episode has not aired, but I've been looking at the little clips. And remember when Kody was talking about gosh, what did he say? Oh, the lady emailing him, talking about trying to be in the family, chastising him. I believe Robin is back on her catfish bit. What if it's Robin catfishing Kody, trying to get proof of infidelity to see if he gonna A, cheat on her, and B, also try to rub in the him not being a polygamist anymore narrative. What do we think about that?
That again, if you guys are going to use Megatron's thing, make sure you give her credit. Megatron be coming in and turning keys. He be turning locks on this door. Yeah. Yeah. Just make sure you give her credit. That's all I'm saying. Megatron had another one. Let's go.
Yeah, I truly 100% in my gut feel like Robin is fucking with Kody by pretending to be a anonymous woman that wants to join the family. Because think about it, she gets what she wants. Either way, she can have proof that he's been unfaithful to her if he carries on a illicit affair with this lady, or B, he starts considering polygamy, and then she can still keep him from groping on her ass all day long. So it's a win-win for her, and then she gets another paycheck added to the family, and she gets more content for their show that they're trying to pitch. What do we all think, guys?
I know I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. Megatron, look, girl. Woman, you are on to something. Like, look, how you get your people is how you lose your people. How you get your man is how you lose your man. If you go back and do some sneaky old stuff to get them, and how you acted to get them, I think that you would be hyper aware that there are women, like she was sitting in church catching lightning bolts in the, catching a thunder crotch, looking at Kody in the church, supposedly, right? Apparently she didn't drive 5 hours to go to a particular church at a particular time to run into Kody because she heard he had a show. She just happened to be there just because of the way the world works. And she just sitting there and looking at him. She caught thunderbolts in a cooch, right? Okay, cool. We got that, right? But she understood when she was sitting there flirting with him that he was receptive to the flirting. And this is part of the problem with, even if you are a good guy, quote unquote, which I don't think Kody is, but even if you are supposedly a good guy, if you do these things, even the people that you cheat with can't trust you, because if you cheat with me, you'll cheat on me. So she knew that she was playing dirty with Kody, and he was going along with it. So now that he's supposedly monogamous and committed, maybe part of the reason why, and if you guys are going to use my stuff, make sure you get on these other platforms and say my name, James from My Take On. We got a take, because I'm tagging in. Maybe part of the reason why she might contact him and catfish him is because she wants to not only make sure that he's not doing the wrong thing, but as he's sitting there talking all this monogamy stuff, women do have intuition. They have intuition. It's not absolute, because if it was, then you never would get hooked up with a bad dude. But women do have intuition, and they know when a guy ain't doing right. People know when they're in relationships, there's something sneaky or hokey is going on, right? And if you suspect your man is cheating, and you know that you're supposed to be doing this polygamy thing, you might send him a message to see what he say. You might send him something and say, yo, I saw you on the show. You looking sexy. What about monogamy? Or if there's some things you want to say because of the way your relationship is set up, there's some things you do want to say, but you don't necessarily have the strength or power or that steadfastness where you're going to say it yourself. Maybe you will make up a character and use that person's voice to articulate the things that you're feeling. So if she's trying to push him into polygamy, she might say, hi, this is Jane. You should be a polygamist, you coward. Stop backing away from it. because that's something she wants to do. She might also say, hey, this is Suzanne. I think your booty is nice and tight and taut. I think I want to bounce some quarters off of it, and your rippling abs drive me crazy. I have some laundry, and I want to scrub them on your washboard abs, and see what he says back. Especially if he's sitting there running a line talking about, yeah, baby, I just wanted to be me and you against the world, girl, because with us, monogamy isn't just a title, it's who we are because we're soulmates. And she want to find out if he's really meaning the crap he's saying. And maybe she got a couple off messages back. That's why she might be sitting there saying, like, every time he's talking about monogamy, she's like, yeah, whatever. Because she already tested the waters and he hit the wrong response back. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. We're going to keep it rolling with the next message from Linda. Linda in the house.
Hello, everybody. It's Linda, James, my favorite carpenter. How are you doing? So I got back from my vacation at about 6:00 in the morning, Saturday. Needless to say, I was crashing and jet lagging. So I tried to get my body back to normal so I could work tomorrow. And all the craziness that would come on my feed when I'm just relaxing on the beach, going through, Facebook, whatever, connecting with friends, all the craziness from Sister Wives was just too much. So to get my body back in rhythm, I stayed up late to watch TV, babbling all about this because I watched Special Forces and I watched the last 2 episodes of Sister Wives. I literally zoned out and just kind of woke up now and be heading to bed, but I am not watching. And when I say deal with, hello, everybody. It's Linda, James, my favorite carpenter. How are you doing? So I got back from my vacation at about 6:00 in the morning, Saturday. Needless to say, I was crashing and jet lagging. So I tried to get my body back to normal so I could work tomorrow. And all the craziness that would come on my feed when I'm just relaxing on the beach, going through, Facebook, whatever, connecting with friends, all the craziness from Sister Wives was just too much. So to get my body back in rhythm, I stayed up late to watch TV, babbling all about this because I watched Special Forces and I watched the last 2 episodes of Sister Wives. I literally zoned out and just kind of woke up now and be heading to bed, but I am not watching tonight's episode. But I just have to share with you, like, my mind was blown. I cannot believe how low this has sunk, the stupidity that they're feeling, everybody. I think Robin and Kody have lost their blessed mind. This is just disgusting. I mean, I'm comparing Kody's behavior on Special Forces and on the show. And a matter of fact, I just saw some of the about 5-6 cast members that got together to say that he was definitely on drugs. So the man is on something. This shit needs to be canceled. And I'll talk to you guys during the week. Mahalo.
Oh, she hitting us with some of that Hawaii lingo. Mahalo. Awesome. We have another one from Linda.
Hey, James, it's Linda. Hopefully you're hearing tonight's reaction tonight, Tuesday, election day. I hope everybody got out to vote. The power of the mic is strong, but this message, of course, I'm going to go to TLC because I was forced to watch the last 3 episodes. And I had these notes and things to discuss. And I'm like, I'm spending too much time on these toxic people. So I'm going to go ahead and blame TLC. TLC is letting this shit show run. It shouldn't even be called Sister Wives. It should be called the negative effects of polygamy or why polygamy doesn't work. And the fact that they're giving Kody, of all people, Kody, this platform to spew his misogyny and his lies. And, in one take, in one scene, he says something, he validates his lie, and then he contradicts himself, and we're supposed to be okay with this. If anyone was curious about polygamy, if they watched like the first or 2 seasons, maybe they went for it. But, to wait all this time later and just see how god awful it is and what's come out of it. So I think all of this information has come to life, especially with like notes to self 444. The words are powerful, and just seeing things is powerful, and we just have to know how to deal with it.
Fair play. We go keep rolling with Linda.
And when I say deal with it, maybe a better word would be understand what's going on. It's like I made sure that they weren't getting any ratings from this because I do have HBO where I could see it. And I think take a look at the Facebook page. Someone found a way to watch it free on YouTube. Maybe that's what you should do. And I think you know how much I respect you and your how you do things. Like I really think of you as a caseworker, of someone who could really help out. I think your show has really pointed out all of the negativity, from a layman's point of view, from a human being, that has, this group here that has all the similar values. But TLC really, what just kills me is that they're going from the worst to the worst. Like they just want to put out garbage after garbage after garbage, and we can't promote it, I guess is what I'm trying to babble and say. Us as a group speak against it and maybe find something else that we could focus on. But it's like you're really doing a beware, watch out for this, watch out for the pitfalls, because there are just so many naive people out there. It's crazy. Not everyone is on that same level. So yeah, the power of the word, man, we got to use it.
The power of the word. Yeah, see, that's where I'm at too. But Linda had another one. Hold on one second. And I think that's important too, because I focused on that last week when I was talking about it. Like the power of the microphone is incredible. Like TLC, they platform some crazy folks. So, and we'll get into that in a minute because one of the other callers hit on the same point Linda's hitting now. But let's finish up with Linda.
Just lost my train of thought because I'm watching you on TV. Yeah, like you're putting it out there.
Wait, what the? Oh, hold up, y'all. Them damn Kremlins got me again. Sons of bitches. How they go? I gotta re-upload. Hold on a second. All right. While we're doing that, man, every now and again, I'll be thinking things running smooth. Here's Linda.
Just lost my train of thought because I'm watching you on TV. Yeah, like you're putting it out there. You're putting out the caveat. You're putting out the beware. All of us as well, because, even though we're all different, we pretty much have the same core values, and some of us see things differently and bring up an even better point. But just from watching these last 3 episodes, it boggles my mind. It's disgusting. I try to have an open mind by comparing Kody from, on his on the military show, which now again I'm forgetting the name, and Sister Wives, and I'm just like focusing on him. And they said something interesting on the show that one of the athletes said is that he doesn't eat. He hasn't eaten in 4 days. So how is this guy doing this? Because I was in Morocco for almost 3 weeks. That was my dream vacation. And where he is by Fez, by the Sahara Desert. That shit is hot. You can't just survive on water. So he's surviving on his supplements, on everything else. And I'm sure he's on all kinds of things. And just his behavior now with Robin, he's still putting her up there as some sort of a sex object, like totally objectifying her. I don't know. I hope you have the gathering on Saturday, because I got to get this shit out of my system and go back to not watching them. It's just too much. It's just too much for me.
Get a little mental health break. I get it. Yeah, that not eating stuff. From what I understood, the special forces people, the producers, they have it in their contracts if you're appearing on the show that you have to eat what they give you and as much as they give you. So they do like the analysis of your weight, like how many calories you should be taking in. So they really break it down as far as like your micronutrition and your macros, in order for you to figure out what it is you should be eating so that you can complete everything without going out there passing out. So it's funny to me that they're saying that Kody wasn't eating because he has to eat her. This dude, like you said, they're doing way too much stuff for you to be out there not trying to eat something because you're trying to keep your figure together. Because you will straight up pass out. Like you will pass out. And that puts you in crazy danger, especially if you're like 100 feet off the ground going across a tightrope and you just fall out. Like you could, I'm not going to say how you could expire, but think 3-week-old milk. You know what I mean? Milk passes expiration date by 3 days. Like you could be over and it'll be nasty. But thank you so much, Linda. As promised, we're going to keep it rolling. We have Sharice up next.
Hey James, this is Sharice. So I haven't done a speak pipe in like a long time. I did that one anyway. Um, I have a few things I want to talk about, but I forgot some things. But this one, this this specific one is going to be about Robin. First of all, I haven't watched your review yet, but she absolutely exposed herself on this episode. When she said who wouldn't be attracted to a married man? He's established. Like, girl, are you crazy? You literally admitted that you're admitting that you went after this man. We all can see it. We all can see it. We all knew it, but we all can see it. And then two, she is absolutely not attracted to Kody anymore because them women divorced him. She she is not attracted to the man he is now. When she was talking to him, like, wouldn't it have been nice if you told us all that you support us all and did all of this, da 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 da? And then he was like, so you want to know those? You want me to tell you about those uh messages if I get them? She's like, are you slow? Do you not hear what I'm saying to you? Cause he's slow, which proves what the people said on that on anyway.
She left another message. Hold on one second. Here we go.
Hey James, it's Candace.
Oh, wrong one. She left another message. Well, take two. Sharice, take two. She left another message. Let's check that one out.
Okay, yeah, which proves what the people said from hey.
Uh, Take three. Sharice. She left another message. Let's check that one out.
Okay, yeah, which proves what the people said from that show he's on. I can't think of the next the Forces show, Special Forces or whatever the hell that show name is. They what they saying is right. Like he does not pick up on social cues. Like she's telling you that she wished that you would have done something different to be able to maintain your family, and you are still talking about the women sending you those messages. You really he tries to say that he was not in plural marriage for the sex, and but it's just no way I believe that he wasn't, because now you're getting less than half of what you were getting. You're getting 1/4 of what you were getting when you had 4 wives, and it's like he already was down to one. Well, really 1/3. Yeah, he was already down to 1/3. It's just he's sick. Anyway, now I'm rambling. I probably will be back because it was something else that happened in the show at the beginning of the episode that pissed me off too. Okay.
All right. That was Sharice. Before we go further, let me get some of the super chats because we had some super chats come in. We had Kathy Mosley with the $5 super chat. Cody's on Special Forces discussion with team leaders addresses his failure with his kids. Oh, hitting him where he live. You know you're a failure, right? You know that killed him inside because these guys, he's trying to impress these guys to the point where he's Mr. Got It all together, and I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this so my kids know Dad still got it. And the first time they get him in the room, they're like, You know you got a shit relationship with your kids. What's going on with them? Well, I just want to get everything together. They just won't cooperate. I'm looking forward to seeing this season or tonight's episode. Now that Kathy Mosley mentioned that. Thank you so much, Kathy. Let me give you a little something. It's tears on my pillow, tears on my pillow, pain in my heart because of you. You. A lot of tears going to be shed tonight, Jack. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Kathy. All right. Then we have Michelle Bratz with the 199 super chart. Thank you so much, Michelle. No message, just the love. Or maybe she did mean to leave a message. If you meant to leave a message, leave it in the chat and I will pop it back up. But thank you. Otherwise, appreciate you. Let me give you a little something if I can find my cursor. Here we go. And we have Jody Periscala, 499 super chat. TLC just added a show about a young girl with Tourette's. Yeah, Life with Balin, I think the show is called. Yeah, I haven't watched that show because my wife and daughter were watching that show, and I caught it, and I kind of suspected some things about it. And my personal first read on the show, especially after not seeing it and just talking to them about it, is that the one thing I don't like is when they take serious medical conditions like Tourette's, like Asperger's, or being on the spectrum, autism, and they try to turn it into like this cool, hip superhero cliche type thing, right? It does a disservice for people who actually have it, in my opinion. Like the way that they did the feeling I get when I caught some of the clips of not clips, but walking in and out of the room where they're playing it on the TV, and I see her having episodes. It's very TV fictionalized, TV friendly, fictionalized outburst. So she'll say things that are funny but not offensive, quirky but not, to the point where she could get arrested. Like there are people who suffer from this will blurt things out and they say the most horrible things ever, right? The things that most people don't even think out, to themselves. They won't even say in their head to themselves out loud, let alone in a room full of people just screaming it, right? And it's always in a way where it's done safely, right? Where she might say like, oh no, like for instance, she was in the airport and she read something and was like, bomb, 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 bomb. But she wasn't standing in the line saying it. She wasn't in a place where, her ass would have got tackled for saying that. You understand what I mean? Like, so it comes off that way. Like with autism, they do the essentially, like you could look at some of the shows. There was a show I used to watch. I like prom dramas and things like that. But there was a show called Monk that was basically like a Sherlock Holmes type genre show. And basically Monk has autism. He's autistic. He's on the spectrum, right? Right. If you look at it, they never said it, but you can see what it is. It is what it is. And he basically has superpowers because he's so perceptive with everything. He can figure everything out. And if you look at Rain Man, that's another example of somebody who was suffering from autistic, right? Autism. And he's able to go to Vegas and clean Vegas out because he can count cars because he has this superpower. But the people who struggle with these conditions, to them, it's not a superpower. There's nothing fun about Tourette's. Not being able, like, because Tourette's isn't just verbal. It can also be nonverbal, where you have like a quick jerk. You know what I mean? And you don't want to jerk because you don't feel control of your body. And they don't refer to that in the show, so it's not taken serious because it's this quirky, fun thing that she does, which makes her cool and awesome, and we can associate with her. But you don't see the pain that's associated with it. And I think that that's kind of a missed opportunity. I'm sorry I went on a long ass tangent, but I said I wouldn't, but I did anyway because I killed myself. Oh, I need help. Oh, Jody Pierce Collin, you did it. But yeah, it was Life with Balin. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. if you agree or disagree, maybe I'm just reading too much in it. Maybe I expect too much from reality shows. Maybe that's my problem. But thank you so much, Jody. You know, I'm here like, this is an opportunity where we can gain some understanding about what these people's lives are actually like. They're like, look, we just trying to make fun of some folks and make some cash. What you talking about? But next up we have Kathy Mosley once again with the $5 super chat. Kody wasn't eating on special forces because of pepper on his food. Confessed by Tina. What? Yeah, pepper on his food. My dude, that's called seasoning. In some, you know what? In some areas of the world, they use seasoning, and it has this like seasoning, the act of using seasoning, especially down south. Lord have mercy. They have this, it has this side effect on the food. It's called flavor. That shit's called flavor. When you eat the food, you be like, this is this thing called delicious. Okay? You're not just eating like boiled chicken breast. You're actually enjoying your meal. It's incredible. Like, you know, sad for you. I feel bad for you, Cody. You never experienced that. So, bruh, because of that statement right there, if that's what you really think, you're not eating food because it got pepper on it, you are not invited to the cookout for several reasons, but this would definitely be one. But and mostly because we don't want you showing up with the potato salad with the raisins in it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. All right, but thank you very much, Kathy Mosley. Appreciate it. You know, how come nobody's touching my boiled chicken plate? My boiled chicken pot pie that's not barely cooked. Thank you, Kathy. All right. Then we we'll moving right along to the Speak Pipe Avengers. What do they have to say? Next up, we have Miss Tanya Carter.
So this week, I have no words. This is the first time that I'm probably only going to do one speak pipe because the episode was not interesting again. We're talking about Coyote Pass. Okay, big who cares. Christine saying Kody is a good man. What? She is now the villain for me. She is now the villain for me. Because what the hell? What was your whole book about? I get you're going through a custody battle right now. You're not allowed to say bad things about each other, but then just don't say anything at all. Because what are you talking about? And why is she trying to make her husband, who obviously doesn't want to hang out with Kody, hang out with him? It makes no sense. The one interesting thing was we got to get a little inside look on how Kody completely doesn't care what Robin thinks. And I think he treats her like the other wives at this point, now that she's the only one there. When she was trying to point out to him what he should have done with the other wives, and he was just skipped over it. And she was like, well, did you hear what I just said? And he's like, yeah, you're basically calling me a failure and we're not going to fucking talk about that. Yeah.
All right. And we're going to go jump right to part 2, but that's awesome. Not the shoes on the other foot, Robin. How you like the fit?
Okay, I said I was only going to do one, but I'm just watching TikTok and seeing the clip of her talking to Cody around the table again. And I'm sitting here thinking, she's sitting here trying to charge him. Well, wouldn't that have been unifying for the other ladies when we would have our meetings for you to sit there and tell them, hey, baby, I love all of you and I have all of your backs and I'm here for you. Wouldn't that have been unifying? And he's like, yeah, yeah. And I'm sitting here like, Robin, give it up. When that time was happening and y'all were all sitting around like that, you were sitting there like pretty princess, that you were the favorite. You didn't care that Cody wasn't telling any of them that. You did not care. So now that you're here stuck with him and you've got buyer's remorse, because you're here with something that you didn't plan on having to be around 24/7. Now you want to sit here and be like, you should have done this. Wouldn't it have been nice? When it was happening, you didn't care. This is the I can't. I can't do it, James.
You got Tanya shut down. Somebody to hit a reset button. Factory reset. I can't do this. This is getting too much. It's too much. Too much stupidity at one time. It's overloading the systems. Tanya got a 3.
James. Okay, 3. I can't help but not do 3. And that's exactly what you were saying last night, and what we were talking about is what I'm saying. If I were Kody, I would get on some of these platforms because, with the exception of you, and maybe, no, honestly, I think with the exception of you, I would get on these platforms with these YouTubers because they come with all the heat. When it's just them sitting there with their camera and their little setup. But if Kody gets on these shows, they're not gonna bring that energy. It's gonna be like, "Hey, Kody, a lot of people in the Sister Wives universe are they're upset with you because, well, and they don't know me. That's the thing. That's true. We don't really know you. I mean, tell us." He could make himself look so good going on these platforms because they're going to back down and they're not going to bring that energy, and then he will walk away like, see, this is all a show. You guys proved I'm not a bad person. If I were Kody, that's what I would do. That would be my redemption arc right there. Get on these YouTube channels, let these people fall back and make you look good.
What? I'm going to just say this. One, I got to make a video about that because I think that that's something I do want to say with my whole damn chest. As we, as content creators, start putting these people out, I think we have a responsibility, not just to the people who were, I guess on one side, I'll break it down. On one side, to your channel, you want to grow your channel, and this is a great boost. It's a fantastic boost to get these people on your shows. I'm not going to bullshit. If these are the subject matters that you're covering, to have them show up on your show is a huge boost to your show, because people are going to cover even Pop Psych. If there are channels that are bigger than their channel that cover Sister Wives, they're going to cover that interview because they had McKelty on the show, and they're going to say, "Oh, Pop Psych," and on their bigger channels, which will get him or them more views, not only more views, but more subscribers, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a huge win for them. I'm not slighting that at all. But the thing is that we also have to recognize that if we're going to be also, aside from serving our financial ends, we're also going to serve and service the truth and what we perceive to be the truth. Then, we owe it to ourselves, to the people who watch us and listen to us, to keep it all the way above. So I agree with what Tanya said. If you're going to be on the channel and you're like, I don't want to say wishy-washy, but if you're trying to play it even and fair, and you're trying to give everybody the best shot, and you're that person and that's your brand, cool. If they come on the show, you're trying to give them a shot. But if you got heat and fire for Kody, Robin, anything that they've done, Mary, Janelle, Christine, when you get them on the show, you got to bring that same heat, that same fire. You got to bring that same energy. Because otherwise, like I said, how do you then criticize? Because I've seen not only, and again, I haven't seen the Pop Psych thing. I'm intentionally didn't watch it until I'm ready to watch it and ready to respond to it, or if I need to do a cut. See, again, I'm going to respond to it. So Tanya's right. But just in general, like as content creators, how do I have like an interview with Kody? He comes on to the show, and oh, Kody, you're awesome. Oh my goodness, your curls, dude, my dude, your curls. Oh, they drive me crazy, player. Oh, you set it off, fire, fuego, right? The whole time. Then how do I turn around at the end of the season and say, oh, that tell-all was bullshit. They didn't ask no real questions. How come they not asking nothing legitimate, right? So we just got to keep it all the way above. Like, again, I'm sitting here saying, I'm sitting here saying this. Their channel, I think, is already eclipsed my channel, so it is what it is. I'm not giving them advice. I'm not, because I haven't seen the interview anyway for Pop Psych. I'm just merely saying my perspective, my position. I'm putting it out there. I'm willing to have a conversation with anybody. Kody, Robin, Christine, Mary, Janelle, McKelty, Tony, the kids, whoever. I'm willing to talk to whoever. And I've done that. I've proven that time and again by inviting people on the show. I've invited people who haven't responded to me. It is what it is. I'm willing to talk to anybody. But please understand, I'm going to keep the same positions that I have, on, because I'm going to keep the same position I've had and I've established already. Because, like it or not, anybody who's talked to me offline or whatever, I'm the same person in person that I am online. Like, there's no difference there's no buffer or difference between the person that I present myself to be on this channel versus if you run into me in the street, all of a sudden I'm a completely different person. No, this is it is what you get. So if you come on here, expect some pushback, expect some conversation. And I don't, we can have like a little cutesy, hey, how you doing? Let's talk about it. But at the same time, there are things that I'm curious about. And even if you can't talk about, and I would even say this, I'll give this as a suggestion because I like to solve problems too. If you're a content creator and you bring these people in, again, just my position, lowly guy, just barely giving my view. If you bring these people in and they say they can't talk about specifics because of the show, get their point of view, get their world view on some of these bigger issues. What do you think about how kids are raised or in these types of situations? Make it a situation close to what we see on the show. What do you think about a dad? Can a man be a good man if he's not involved with his kids? Those type of questions. Let's hear what they have to say and what their position is. Because otherwise it's just a waste of time. It's a wasted interview and it's a wasted opportunity. Just my opinion. But take it or leave it. It is what it is. But next up, we have speaking of Fuego, we have Daisy in the house. Let's check Daisy out.
Hey, James, I wanted to talk about Tony and McKelty's rebrand. A lot of people are milking it up. I mean, lapping it up about, well, she's just a poor dear old thing. She was just a product of manipulation. Well, I do think that played um, a factor in the beginning of her dynamic with Robin. I feel like it was a little bit more nuanced than that. I feel like there was a petty side to it. I feel like McKelty and her mom butted heads or whatever, and certain shit she did was petty against her mom. Like, bro, by the time you're breaking groundbreaking news to Robin before your mom, we all knew who the fuck she was. How the audience know and you don't know? How Truly had to go through what she went through and didn't nobody give a fuck, and you still don't understand what's going on and who you're dealing with? Her siblings tried to tell her. So like all this like clueless, like innocent, well, I just didn't know and I'm just a victim and I can't be held accountable for anything. Like, if you're going to keep it a motherfucking buck, talk about how you wanted to see your mom uncomfortable in certain positions. And remember when she had all them fucking dumbasses outside her mama's house to wish her goodbye and it was awkward as fuck? She gonna confuse the small kids. The kids was asking what the fuck is going on. They gonna tell me, well, that was just production, Daisy. Well, if it was just production, they got y'all looking stupid as fuck. If it was just production, they had Christine saying, Cody's a great guy. You should hang out with him. Well, David wasn't going for it. So y'all be picking and choosing when it's production.
Told you, Fuego. Number 2.
Yeah, and as far as Tony's McKelty is concerned, they have a right to ally Robin and Kody. I don't have a complaint about that, you know? Don't try to switch up now that don't nobody fuck with them and the audience turned on y'all too. Don't act like y'all, oh no, we didn't know, oh no, it's fuck them too. Nah, 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 nah. You knew what it was. Especially Tony, he's so manipulative and like controlling. Um, I don't like how McKelty lets him like talk about her family like it's his and he know more about it than she do. And she's, yes, yes. And I do feel for her for certain ways because I know how she was raised. I know she didn't get the attention she needed. But look at Maddie. Maddie got her own mind and her own thoughts. So it's only so much I can, I can excuse the shit they be doing.
There you go. Part 3.
Also, just in closing about Tony and McKelty, um, yeah, I think that Christine had some apprehensions about how quickly Tony and McKelty were moving. If I, am reciting the lore of the sister wives correctly, and that created some latent animosity between Tony and Christine, and yeah, it's just crazy how like everyone's kind of forgetting how much he was on Cody's side when they first split or whatever. So for them to act so innocent and like their hands are so clean now and they're just some victims, they're more victims of Cody and Robin is hilarious. And I think, out of all the kids, they kind of, use the fan base or not. They they crave a lot of attention from the fan base. And then like even them moving over to South Carolina, like I think a lot of the siblings probably, allegedly went their way. They said, yo, y'all is rocking with them. We finna go our way. Right away, they got to follow them to get some attention. And you know what I mean? And act like they know something for their Patreon and act like they know what's going on in everybody else's lives. I don't know. Like I said, I got some empathy for McKelty because I do have my criticisms of Christine and Cody of how they parented. But at the same time, I have my criticisms of McKelty and Tony, and they're strong in my opinion.
Well, I want to just real quick with some of the people who come on the show, just to kind of add on to what Daisy's saying. Some of the brown folks, and it's not even, I won't even limit it just to sister wives, but some of the people who are from other shows, 90 Day Fiance, Real Housewives of wherever, right? They'll come on these shows or they'll do these like little tweets or Facebook things, or they come out with these blurbs on Instagram, and they'll talk about the show and they'll hint around stuff. But if you ever listen to their interviews, they don't tell you anything. They don't tell you anything. And as Daisy pointed out, it might be they don't tell you anything because of the NDA, and it might be something that's coming up on the show, but they might not be telling you anything because they don't know shit. Like, they're not around the people who you want to know about, but they're able to get money and garner funds and garner attention because they're in close proximity to those people. So you assume that they know what's happening with them. So you start asking them questions and they dance around answers. So they don't really answer any questions. So as soon as you start asking them real shit, they don't have anything to really say. So, I mean, I think that that's one of the things that we also got to keep an eye out for, because again, if we're going to be consumers of this, of reality shows, we have to prove to them that we're not just dullards who are sitting there staring at the TV screen with drool falling out of our mouth and out of our faces, that we're actually thinking about the things that they're putting forward to us. And if you're going to lie to us, at least have the common decency, courtesy, and integrity as you tell a lie, to put together a good lie, a smart lie. Don't tell us some dumb shit and just expect us to eat it up because you said it and it fell out of your face. Next up, we got number 4.
Cody and Robin's relationship, to me, it looks like, when like the sugar baby actually has to give some sugar up. LOL. Need I say more? There was a whole competition element with the other wives. She was always there because of money. That was her aphrodisiac. Uh, Now she's not profiting as much as the other wives, it doesn't seem. And now Cody, I guess, isn't really doing it for her, allegedly.
Well, I mean, it's hard when you take a pay cut. You know what I mean? When you're the sugar mama, you taking a pay cut. That shit hurts. Baby, I lost my job. You lost your job. I still got bills to pay. Better get back on your Dean, player. Number 5 from Daisy, last but certainly not least.
All right, James, this is my final message. So let's talk about the scene that has us all in an uproar. Christine bringing that bullshit in David's face, switching the script all the way up on him. you know, he's actually a great guy. You guys would benefit from hanging out with each other. We had a lot of solid years, woody, woody, whoop, whatever she want to say, how she want to say it. Yo, she got that man fucked up. She got that man fucked up. And, you know, I haven't been watching like that. I haven't watched in cable in a long time. Uh, but I watch, you know, the clips, and I watch what I would need to watch to know what I need to know about what's going on each week, you know? And this just confirms to me what I've come to the conclusion a long time ago, that this show is mainly fabricated and that they have no problem lying to the audience. I don't think they've ever really considered being honest to the audience, or if they really value how much the audience has supported them, because they do these MLM things. They lie blatantly. 3 weeks after they drop a book, they gonna switch the script on the show. They don't, you know, it's a lot of tomfoolery.
I might go just call Daisy Fuego. Like she coming with the fire, son. She'll be playing around. And I love it. I love it. Thank you, Daisy. Daisy, like I calls it like I sees it. It is what it is. I love that shit. All right, next up we got Candace.
Hey, James, it's Candace. How are you? I just wanted to know, I haven't heard you mention this, but did anybody see the, I have cable, so I have the TLC channel, but I saw it was like a campaign, anti-bullying campaign that TLC is doing, and it had Christine and Colt from 90 Day Fiance, Balin, the Tourette's girl, and they're talking about bullying. And I saw it like 2-3 times and I haven't seen it since. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? TLC with this bullshit right here? They pretty much, they are the absolute perpetrators of bullying on their shows. They have, it's running rampant in the 90 Day with Angela, Dean, whatever her name is, and Big Ed. And then Kody is a huge bully that they've had on for 20 seasons now. This is unbelievable. TLC is definitely playing in our faces. I can't even believe this. So anyway, I just wondered if anybody saw that, and just how crazy it all is. And oh my God. Anyway, so maybe you could look it up if you haven't seen it, but it was on 2-3 times and that's it. All right. Take care.
Yeah, I didn't see it, Candace. I went and found it, and I'm actually going to do a video on it because I think that is something to be talked about. And I 100% agree with you because, like, TLC, let's keep it all the way a buck. TLC, and I'm not even going to say historically and most recently, has built franchises, centralized entire established franchises around bullies. Like your whole thing is bullies. Kody and Robin are basically financial bullies. They might not come in giving, like, you know, digging the women down, like digging them down physically, but they're ripping them to pieces financially, emotionally. It's incredible. Incredible. And you've platformed them for 20 seasons. If we go to 90 Day Fiance, the more popular character on the show, Angela Deem, is mentioned. Right, but it's not just Angela. You had Kim, who was basically bullying and mistreating her fiance, throwing drinks in his face and all kinds of crazy stuff. Then you have what's her name? That she's on basically this was part of the reason why I'm no longer watching 90 Day after I finish this last little like tell-all series of Happily Ever After. I'm done with 90 Day because you guys are platforming a now new bully in a form of Jasmine Pandera, whatever her name is. Her husband, Gino, tricked him into having an open marriage. Tricked him to come into the country, then tricked him into having an open marriage, left with the guy she convinced him that she had to have the open marriage with, and then had a baby with the dude. And from what I understand, she just had another baby with him. So it's crazy. Like the and the whole time she's on there talking about how this dude ain't this and he ain't that, he ain't this, he ain't that, and trying to embarrass him the whole time, then say, criticize him about his sex and sexuality, which is bullying. Because again, just because it's a guy and a young lady and she's saying stuff about his sexuality, it would never be tolerated if it was the other way around. If there was a guy on there talking about, oh yeah, she don't put out like I want her to. And so therefore I should be able to go screw some girl I met at the gym. There would not, his ass would have been canceled quick, fast, in a hurry. If he sat around talking about how shriveled and terrible her boom boom is, done data. But she can get up there and say that about him. Then she says it about him, and she complains because he doesn't want to have sex with her. Are you crazy? If I sat here and talked about, said nasty things about my partner, I wouldn't expect her to want to have sleep with me after I just got finished saying a whole bunch of nasty stuff about her, especially if it's sexual stuff. Oh, you ain't even good in bed. Girl, how come you don't never want to sleep with me and stuff? Like, are you crazy? But it's like, again, you guys have basically created, TLC has basically created a foundation of bullying and mistreatment. And now you come out with PSAs. Oh, yeah, by the way, don't do anything you've seen on our shows. Like, come on. But let's listen to Candace part 2.
Hey, James, it's Candace again. Yeah, just to expand on my previous message of TLC doing this anti-bullying campaign, I looked and it was through the month of October. I'm like, you people have the audacity to even go there with that. Anyway, and why do they have Colt on there from 90 Day Fiance? That guy, okay, I could see he's probably getting bullied about his mother and whatever because he's a mama's boy. But he cheats, he lies. Anyway, why they have some of these people on there, I have no idea. And then Christine saying, oh, Kody's a good man, but she's on this anti-bullying campaign for TLC. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, he was the biggest bully to me of them all. Just did it very underhanded, not in this obvious way like Angela and Big Ed maybe, but Kody is. He's a piece of crap. So every time I call here, I have to call Kody a piece of shit. I can't help it. I'm going to just keep doing that. So anyway, it's just, TLC is just a big freak show, carnival sideshow. That's what it's become, like the Jerry Springer show. Anyway, thanks.
Awesome. I said that before, like reality TV is just basically an extension of TV talk shows. Back in the 80s, 90s, where TV talk shows kind of ruled the day. Reality shows are just basically TV talk shows where, as opposed to you sitting listening to the person talk about and relay their struggles and relationship complications, you can now watch it on TV. And that's where I think they are. But thank you so much, Candace. Next up, we have Mary.
Hey, James, this is Mary. I just want to talk about the David and Kody going to do NASCAR driving. It seems like Kody can make time for anyone but his kids, doing an event he's going to be paid for instead of spending time with his kids. I kind of question David, why is he doing this, unless it's to school Kody on how to be a father, but I don't think there's any way to change him now. Instead, I would have liked to seen Christine and David say, well, after you spend time with all 6 of my children, then maybe you and David could do an event or something like that. Or why don't you go see all of your children and do an event with them and then come back and do something with David? I just feel like that should have been held out as last. And I'm kind of questioning, I guess, where was the thought wherewithal for Christine to let this progress? I have no idea, but let me know what you think, James. Thanks. Bye.
All right. I will let you know what I think, Mary. Here's the thing. This is what I think. I think when it comes to the whole Kody and David interaction, I think it's something that was pushed forth by the production team. I think that's something that they rolled out intentionally. But here's my other part of it. They went along with it, right? Now, if you really want to get into it, technically, wouldn't it be more advantageous if Christine and Robin went out? Like the 2 of them went out on a special day or whatever, and you couldn't get them to agree to it, so they didn't do that. So they settled on Kody and David. All right, fine. Here's the problem with that entire premise and I'm breaking it here. So if you use this on another channel, please give me the credit. Say go to see My Take on Reality to get the sauce. Because Christine said Kody's a good guy, and because she's suggesting that Kody and David go out and do this activity, I know they already filmed the tell-all, but here's the problem, y'all. If you're okay with them going out, you're okay with them spending time with each other, there is zero goose egg reason why you can't do the tell-all together anymore. Why you all can't sit on a couch, be asked questions, be able to give your response, and have the conversation with each other. Instead of having Suki go back and try to describe what the other person said. If you're able to sit there, because you guys have been talking shit about each other, so clearly you're not afraid because you know the other person's going to see it. So you're not afraid to talk shit in public. So that's not what it is. I gave a lot of grace because I was under the impression that you guys might have suffered some type of trauma, and I don't want to further traumatize anybody by sitting them on a couch with individuals who have taken advantage of them or traumatized them in some kind of way so that they could be further traumatized for my entertainment. However, if you are not in a position where you are susceptible to further victimization and you're in your She-Ra era or your hero era, or where you feel like you can stand up and be vindicated, then we need to put y'all on a stage together and let you just have it out verbally. And I think that's what that Christine, you agreed to this shit. You guys agreed to this, but you don't realize what you just did. You just undermined your entire argument as to why y'all need to shoot separately. In my opinion. If you can sit there, like I'm just saying, if you can sit there and say he's a good guy, he's a good man, and you can say all that shit, and you can say like Robin, Kody to Christine, a little bit of, I guess, I don't know, maybe misogyny or whatever, but Christine and Kody, because he's a guy, okay, maybe I'm not going to sit there and put you against Kody because or whatever, even though Christine has David sitting next to her, right? I want her to be able to feel confident in what she's talking about. Robin? Why are you scared of Robin? Robin make you uncomfortable. She's not safe to talk to. Then go there and make her feel unsafe. This is the part where it's like sometimes in life, you can't always be comfortable. You can't always sit there and say you feel safe and you're going to be in a safe, fun place and we're doing this for entertainment. No, this is work. And there's a lot of people, everybody who logs in and watches your show, when they go to work, some people go to work at a place that they don't like with a bunch of assholes they can't stand. And they show up every day on time, do their job, and go home, collect their paycheck, and go home. You guys are making way more money than anybody. You ain't making way more money than me talking about you. You're making a ton of money and you guys can't sit there and have a conversation with each other. It's work. It's for work. So I don't know. Like I'm kind of like you guys are like this season. I don't want to be that guy, but you guys are moving me towards the thing of, because I've heard people say it before. Y'all need to be on the stage together. And I've given you guys a lot of grace and a lot of excuses as to why that shouldn't happen. But you guys are moving the polls on me. You're moving the goal. And I'm starting to change my mind. So that's where I'm at. I'm just saying, like, stand there 10 toes down, say that shit with your whole chest. Kody, you ain't shit. Like, that's, you know what I mean? If that's how you feel about it, that's how you feel about it. But let's go back to Mary.
Hey, James, this is Mary. Hey, I want to talk about the McKelty Pop Psych interview where she said that Robin is a good mother, maybe overprotective. I don't think that Robin is a good mother. If she was a good mother, I think she would let her children, her 5 children, have relationships with all their siblings. And keep in mind, these are all half siblings to Ari and Sal. So no, I don't see where McKelty's saying she's a good mother. Yeah, she might be a good mother to those 5, but I don't even see that because of her keeping her children away from the other siblings in the family. Robin joined this family but she did not let the children join the family, in my opinion. And the other thing is with the disparity in time, Robin has never apologized for that. She's never said, yeah, I tried to make them leave 60,000 times to get to the other families. She's never said that. She's never felt bad about the disparity in the time that those other families didn't get their father. But let me know what you think. Bye.
Damn it. I'll mute it again. All right. Start over. I'm just going to simply say, thank you guys. Let me know. Because I was sitting there going off. I'm just going to say that as far as like what she was saying with regard to, Candace was saying with regard to being a good parent, you know, if you're a good parent, you want the best for your kids. I as a parent, in my opinion, I don't make my kids carry my water. If I go to war with somebody, or I have a disagreement with somebody, I don't make my kids hold the ammo or my scabbard as I'm going to war. That's on me, right? That has nothing to do with them. And there's another reason for that too, but it has nothing to do with them. This ain't the Hatfields and McCoys. I've had situations where I've had people who I've had, you know, one type of relationship with, and my kids have had their own relationship with that person, and I've have a fallout, or I disagree with that person on something, and I'll just call my kids and be like, oh yeah, that ain't your family no more, that ain't your friend or whatever, because I don't get along with them no more. That's on me. I'm big enough, I'm strong enough, I can handle my own business. I don't need no company. I got my own back. I don't need my kids to jump in there and have my back and, oh, I'm gonna do this for my daddy. No. If you guys get along with them, you get along with them. If you don't like them or you disagree with them, and that's your reason, even if it is something regarding me, then that's fine. You're entitled to feel how you feel. Your feelings are valid too, right? The other part of it is this. I'll just tie it on. So as Robin keeps her kids away from Christine, Mary, and Janelle because she doesn't get along with them, and more importantly, keeps her kids away from their kids because she doesn't get along with their mamas, or maybe the kids had something to say about her, and so therefore she tries to keep, as a punishment, she tries to keep her kids away. That's terrible to me, because it's damaging to your kids. Because what happens? Because here's the funny part. What happens if I have a disagreement, like we'll use Christine, Mary, and Janelle. Christine and Robin aren't getting along. So Robin tells her kids, that's not your mama. Those aren't your brothers and sisters. What happens if you and Christine get back together? You gonna go back and be like, yeah, remember what I said before? Y'all gonna be close again. Your brothers and sisters, so shall it be. So it has been said, so shall it be done. Like, that's not a thing. You can't turn people on and off. That's why you allow them to have their feelings and experience their own feelings their own way. The thing that I would even say to punctuate my point, as far as me not pulling my kids into disagreements, is because if I have a disagreement with you, you don't bring my kids into it. Let me say that one more again. If I have a disagreement with you, you don't pull my kids into it. My kids, especially, they ain't got nothing to do with it. You don't talk about my kids. You don't talk about my family. If they got shit to do, you disagree with me. Your problem is with me. You leave them about your mouth. Right? Now, if I bring them into it by saying that they can't do this or you guys can't have contact with them anymore, then all I'm doing is I'm putting them in a situation. I'm putting them in a situation where you can now go after my kids and argue with my kids because I brought them in. I made them a issue. I made them a topic of discussion. So in order to keep my kids out of it, I don't talk about my kids. I don't involve my kids in my problems. That's just my take on it. But let's go to the next person. We have one of the mega mods, Brittany, not Brittany, in the house. Jody Periscala dropped a $1.99 super chat. She says she can't hear me. What? Oh no. Please tell me I didn't do all that talking again. Hey, nobody heard it. What? Sugar shit. Okay. But let me drop a little something for Jody. Thank you, Jody. I just turned my mic back up a little bit more. Hopefully that helps you out. But thank you. Then we had Lizzie B gifted One My Take on Reality membership. Make sure you come in on Saturday where we have a noontime roundtable where we have an open discussion. It's noontime Eastern Standard Time, in fairness. We have an open discussion where everybody can jump in and give their point of view or perspective. Thank you so much, Lizzie. And we'll get to these last few messages. All right. Lizzie B in the house. What? I gotta download that. Yeah, so okay, Jody says she can hear right now. Cool. All right, and so here we go. The last few messages. We got Brittany, not Brittany, in the house.
Hey, James, real quick, I want to talk about McKelty and Tony and Mary and how at this point, I don't want to hear a fuck else about Mary. I don't care. I don't care. Y'all don't like her. She was a bitch when she was younger. She was mean. Got it. Cool. Go to therapy about it. At this point, every time, all they have is, I just don't want to say anything bad about her because I don't want to get her in trouble and she's a different person. And then they tell a story about something that she did, and I'm like, that's it? That's all you got? You don't want to ruin her life over, you know what? I I can't. At this point, I just need cancel the show so that way they can say whatever the fuck Mary did. So I can legitimately be angry with them because at this point I'm just like y'all are just picking on her. This doesn't this doesn't make sense because none of what they're saying to explain what Mary did to them warrants the level of like, oh, we're just so terrified of Mary. She's just so horrible. I'm just like, I cuss her ass out. What do you want me to do? Cuss her out and be done with it. Fuck.
Just real quick. I said I wasn't gonna do this. I keep saying I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. With regard to Mary, like I think that is a point too. And this is why I'm not a huge fan of like innuendo accusations, like where you just like, yeah, I mean, I was scared, you know what I'm saying? Like when I went into the house, Mary was sitting there balling her hands up, and I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but just say it was smoke in the city, Jack. Like you made it sound like Mary went at you when she sit there balling her hands up because she was making them sticky buns or whatever the hell. Like she was rolling up sticky buns. But it's the whole thing that sometimes that the innuendo of an accusation is far worse than the actual thing you're going to say. If you're going to say, I'm not going to tell y'all what she was doing because I don't want to ruin her life or ruin the show, then don't say anything. Don't imply that some stuff happened and then not tell us what happened. Because unfortunately, like kind of like what Brittany was saying, what Britt was saying, you guys are saying that she did some terrible, heinous shit. And my imagination of terrible, heinous is not them telling you to go upstairs and put on clothes that they find appropriate. Because you come downstairs with some circa 1990 Prince, chaps with the ass cut out, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you ain't leaving the house like that." No, not at 16 years old. No, you're not. No, you're not. This is who I am. I'm expressing myself. You can't tell me. You're so mean. No, that's not abuse. Okay. If they tell you that you can't walk out with your ass hanging out, that's not abuse. Like my son, he doesn't do it. But I don't like when I see young men walking around with their pants hanging down and their asses hanging out, they sagging or whatever. I'm not a fan of that. Right? Go get a belt. If my son came downstairs and he had his drawers showing, take your ass upstairs and put on a belt. Or better yet, if them pants are too big, let me know. I'll take you to the store. We'll get you some pants that fit. Like you ain't got to walk around with your showing off your underwear. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? And then all of a sudden he come out with a tell-all book. Yeah, my take on reality. He sounds like a good guy, but there was crazy abuse that happened. Whoa, because I'm not going to let you present yourself in a way that doesn't represent who I think you are. It certainly doesn't represent the household that I'm running. So no, I'm not going to sit up here and let you walk out with your ass hanging out. We're not part of the ass out coalition in this way, right over here. So like we gotta define terms. And again, this is part of the importance of like actually asking questions about some of these allegations, especially the heavy ones. They just leave that shit, like they say inflammatory stuff and just leave it sitting there. And it does crazy damage. You understand? Especially, he used to coach them little league teams and he no longer does that. But I ain't gonna say why. Like that. Whoa. He stopped coaching the little league team because his work became so intense that he could no longer carve out time to show up to the practice. That's why he stopped doing it. The way you said it, though, it sounded like it was a bigger problem. And that's one of the dangers of that kind of the way they're doing it. Like, that's why I don't like the I'm going to hint at a thing and then I'm going to say I'm not going to tell you a thing because it's too damaging and especially when you say it's too damaging. Too hot for TV, y'all. Like, bump that. Like, this must be terrible. Oh, they wouldn't let me go to the movies. What? Or even the thing that Christine brought up in her book. And I'm going to jump right to the next message. I'm sorry. But the thing Christine brought up in her book. Like, I didn't like how she talked to my kids because they went to the store and they were in the store begging for change. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that shit either. I'm not a fan of that either. I don't want you to ever get into a place because that's something that I've talked to my kids and I raised my kids on as well. Like, I don't want you to ever put yourself in a situation. If you go somewhere, your friends are going somewhere and they're going to get something to eat. If you don't have money to go, or you didn't ask me for money and you don't have the money to go, you don't take your ass and go. You don't sit there and watch other people eat or make them feel compelled that they have to give you money, or you sit there and start ordering shit knowing full well you don't have any money in your pocket. Right? There's just basic stuff that you teach your kids about. Like, no, I don't want you to go into a store, and pick up. Like, you can count. That's why I'm sending you to the store. You can count. If you know that this piece of candy costs 50 cents and you grab 3 of them, but you only have $1 in your pocket, yeah, there might be a guy or a gal or a clerk or a person, manager in the store who'll give you 50 cents. But I don't want you to live your life that way. Ironically, and I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm kind of going off a little bit. Unironically, isn't that what we complain about Kody and Robin with? Spending money that they don't have. If you spend a lifetime of always being behind the 8 ball because you're married to a man who goes out and is frivolous with money and doesn't take care of money, he overspends and he picks up shit when he know he don't have the money to pay for it, hoping for the best. You might try to instill in your kids that you don't go to the store and just pick up stuff. If you go to the store, you get what you can afford. If you can't afford it, you leave that shit on the shelf and you walk out and you say, if you really want it, you come home, you save up the money so you can go back and get it next time. But you can't always get what you want when you want it. That's not a good mental practice, nor is it a good financial practice. You know what I mean? That's how your credit cards are crazy. You know what I mean? So you're trying to teach them how to, like somebody said, you're trying to teach them how to break that cycle. And so I don't know if that's the example. If like that's your worst girlfriend, I gotta tell you, look. If you consider that to be abuse, I don't want you to go to the store and beg for change. Girlfriend, I gotta tell you. Growing up, shit. You making my parents look like Genghis Khan or somebody. I mean, if you think that's bad, what are we talking about? But we go back to Brittany. Brittany, part 2.
And honestly, a large part of the problem when it comes to, for me personally, believing them with the issues that they have with Mary, and not necessarily believing them, but like really just taking it seriously, is that we got 20 seasons of y'all like just exaggerating for no fucking reason. So why is the Mary situation supposed to be any different? Because as you tell the stories, all you prove is that you're just exaggerating what you just said to make it look like Mary really is this big bad evil person. And I don't think she's nice. I believe that she was mean. I believe that she was punitive. Got that. I hate it for you. That sucks. Definitely not condoning that. But the level of like accusation that y'all are like pushing towards Mary, it doesn't add up. And you haven't proven yourselves to be trustworthy enough to just take you at your word. So, yeah, again, cuss her the fuck out if it's really a problem.
Brittany on the Handle Your Business campaign. Part 3.
Like, honestly, it kind of gives Robin energy because one of Robin's issues, and she has plenty, but one of her issues is that because of maybe it's the way that she was raised, maybe it's the way they were all raised, but Robin, for instance, she can't just say, I don't like these women and I don't want to be around them and I don't want my kids to be around them. Instead of saying that, she's like, they're not safe. They were harmful. They bullied me and my kids. Like it's always this extra, like it can't just be because she doesn't want to be around them. It has to be because of something that they did. And that's honestly how I feel with Mary. And again, I believe that she did some messed up stuff. But instead of just saying, I don't like Mary, I didn't like her growing up, she wasn't very nice, and, I just don't want to be around her. It's like they have to justify why they don't want to be around her. But then when they give the justification, it's just like, if y'all don't say y'all just don't like this bitch and be done with it, because I really can't. I'm over it.
There you go. Just say you don't like her. Just say you don't like her. All right. Wait, hold on. Okay. All right. We had somebody. So he said, wait, hold on. What was that? So he said, what is this? So he's like, hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, James. Where'd it go? Hold on 1 second. Wait. Sorry, I was almost ready. Well, we have 2 more messages left. Just guys are keeping count. And I know we had some additional messages that came in after a certain point, but I figured this would be perfect because it'll hit me right around the 2-hour mark. I'm trying to keep them a little shorter. That's part of the reason why I wasn't. heavy responding to every point. But I can't find it to put on the screen. But where's it at? Oh, G2021 Goat said, "Wait, James, an 8-year-old being 10 cents short of a piece of candy does not compare to Kody and Robin. To the depth and breadth in which Kody and Robin ripped the family off, absolutely not. But what I'm referring to is the mindset that you're trying to train your kids in. So if the power of saving, right? The power of saving. It's the idea that just because you have something and you see something, you want something, if you can't afford it, then you don't have to have it right now, right this second. You can wait. Go home. Have that pride. Go home. You know what? I go to the store, I see something, some candy or something. I realize, oh man, I really want that. You might have to make a choice. You're in the store. It's not that they're walking out with nothing. They go up and they put like a bunch of candy on the counter and they're 10 cents over. What you do is you say, okay, you know what? I don't want that one. Take that one off. Thank you. That'll put me under. I get some change back. I go home. It's a different mentality. Like I'm not going to go into a store and expect, I wouldn't do that myself, and I wouldn't want my kids to learn to do that. I want my kids to have a certain sense of pride that if they go into a store, they're not asking for those types of handouts. They're not asking for favors, because it's not just the it being a dime, because I have a story about that too. It's not just a dime, but it's also the fact that we live in a world where people a lot of times don't do stuff for free. And when they give you something, they expect something in return. Not everybody gives you a dime out of the kindness of their heart. And you say, well, it's just a dime. How much can they ask? Some people ask a lot. I'll tell this story real quick. Story time. Then we'll go to the last two messages. When my parents were younger and they were dating, I told this story before. They were young. They were dating. They went to a bar, one of their dates. And this is a long, long, long time ago. You can tell by the price and I'm about to use. It was a long time ago. And they were there for at the bar, they used to have a thing called nickel beer night. Right? And they're sitting there chatting or whatever, talking. And this guy goes up to the bar, they're at a table. They go up to the bar and they see this guy. He's like, oh, let me buy you a beer. Bought this woman a nickel beer. She drank her beer. He's sitting there chatting, a little light chatting. She finishes that nickel beer, not a dime, a nickel. And he says to her, all right, let's go. And she said, what? I'm not going nowhere with you. And they go back and forth, and he proceeds to beat her ass under the bar over a nickel beer. Right? Sometimes it's not a lot to you. It's not a lot to me. A nickel is a nickel. I would never put my hands on somebody over a damn nickel. Right? That's ridiculous. It wouldn't even occur to me to think about that. But not everybody operates on the same page. Right? And some people, like, honestly, even beyond nickels and dimes, or when you start to get into C notes, bags of money, whatever the case, real estate, some people you don't want to be indebted to. Some people you don't want to ask favors from. You don't want to just take from people or expect people to give you stuff and think they're giving you stuff out of the kindness of their heart. I remember I did some stand-up. I was doing stand-up. I'm a comedian as well. And I did this one show in Scranton, Pennsylvania, right? And room full of people. Like, it was like a big auditorium, whatever. And I'm in there doing my little bit, whatever. And I had this one thing where I was talking about, like, snitches get stitches, but inmates get, things happen to them, whatever. Right? And in the front 2 rows, everybody laughed. Ha, ha, ha. In the front 2 rows, apparently they had a bunch of guys who were from the halfway house or whatever. They had just got out of prison. And they said to me, and I said, since we talk about candy, we talk about a little bit of money. They said to me, yeah, you right about that. Because that's how we get them. We put a Snickers bar up on the joint, and if they take it, that thing is mine. So you just bought this cat for a Snickers bar. If you take that Snickers bar, that's your booty, right? You're on booty duty. So like I said, it's just like for me, it's just a mindset. Like I want them to have the pride. Like don't go anywhere without money. Don't show up if you don't have money. Don't wait for somebody. Don't depend on somebody else to take care of you. People in the street are not your parents. They're not looking out for you or kind to you the way I'm gonna be kind to you. I want you to have because I want you to have. Not everybody, not every adult in the street who's going to give you money is going to give you money because they like you and they want to be your friend. Some of them are trying to give you things so that you're indebted to them and they can ingratiate themselves to you so they have a way in. I mean, we tell our kids, you know, as parents, we tell our kids all the time, don't take candy from strangers. So why would you tell your kid or encourage your kid to take money from strangers so that they could buy candy? That's all I'm saying. I mean, take it or leave it. It is what it is. Just saying. Not to point you out. I'm just saying, like, because I think it's an interesting thing. Again, I don't know how crazy Mary got. Like, I'm gonna preface it with that too. I don't know how crazy Mary got. Like Christine, but again, Christine didn't say. Like, if she said, "Yeah, I came home," and Mary, you know, she done pulled the switches off the trees out back, and she in there cutting ass. You know, she in there chopping wood on the kids for 10 cents, then I'll be like, oh hell no, that's ridiculous. Again, it's 10 cents. That's something, that's a lecture. That's not an ass whipping, right? That which would be crazy. But that again, that would be something that she would have to say. I'm not going to just assume that that's how Mary acted or reacted because I don't think that's fair to Mary. Just like if Kody came out and said something about Christine and implied something about Christine, I shouldn't just assume that she did something terrible because they just implied that this is it. Oh, the reason why Robin don't want her kids around Christine's house because she don't know how to control her boys. So she didn't want to send her daughters over there. That's a strict implication. Like that deserves some substance. That's not just something you throw out there. That kind of accusation ain't something you just throw out there willy-nilly. And that's all I'm saying. Like I just want to be very specific about what it is we're talking about. And before we start bashing somebody based on how they treated somebody else, I want to be very specific about what the offense is, not the implication or what the supposed offense is. I want to hear what it is. That's all I'm saying. But we have two more messages. Well, one more person, but two more messages from that person. Coming to the stage next, we have Sharon.
Hey, James, Sharon here. First, I want to say I do agree with Megatron's theory that the payback of the money to Janelle that Eggplant Cody mentioned in the last episode was related to Big Jesus State. Now, I don't believe that it was discussed with Janelle, or at least I hope it wasn't, because I don't think she would have agreed to it. I could see that if he tried to threaten to contest the will and stuff, that she would say no because and let it go because of the kids, because that would cause the kids a lot of suffering. But if Janelle didn't agree to it and Cody went ahead and contested the will, I don't think he'd end up with as much as he thought he would. Because if the insurance policy had a beneficiary on it, then that's who gets the insurance payout. And as far as the real and personal property, if the will's overturned and they decided to divide everything up by intestate law, meaning without a will, then at that point, mom would get a share, dad would get a share, or a parent's share, and then all of the siblings, half or full, would get a portion as well. So he wouldn't end up with near as much as he thought he would. And also, if I'm not mistaken, there was an interview or maybe an episode where Janelle said that they used the money that they had given towards the McMansion as a gift in their taxes to avoid the capital gains tax. And that's why I think she keeps saying it's a gift. And she's right. The attorneys will tell her she'd never get anything out of it. And Mary.
She cut off. We're going to go right to the second message.
Sharon here again, James, just to finish up that point. So if they did that and put it on their taxes as gifts, then there's no way Marianne or Janelle's getting any money back from that. And about Christine, I don't think that she said that Kody was a good man because she's trying to convince David or anything. I think that she said it because of the court case that was going on. I did hear her say on an interview that Kody and David getting together to hang out was a TLC suggestion. And how about that crap with the manipulative Miss Robin and her betraying Christine's trust by telling Kody what Christine had said she needed or wanted Kody to understand. Kody said it's okay for Robin was trying to connect with her sister wives by telling him that, but then he fussed at Christine about it. Yeah, What the fuck? That makes no sense. And I agree that Pop Sock is not as hardcore as most of us in the My Take family with you, James. I feel certain that there were certain restrictions on their interview, set by, I'm sure, Tony and McKelty, and I appreciated most of everything I heard on the interview, with one exception. I think that David felt like I said that he felt like that it didn't matter why Robin helped McKelty, just that he helped her. But I highly disagree. Intent is huge. For example, intent's huge in the law. And I personally don't want someone manipulating me, even if it has positive outcomes. Fake is fake. And lastly, if I had to sit at that dining room table and eat with that picture on the wall, I would throw up.
Couldn't do the picture. I get it. But just to thank you so much for calling in, Sharon. Appreciate that. Just to touch on one of the things that Sharon had mentioned. It might not necessarily be for income tax, that it was labeled as the contribution that Mary and Janelle made towards Kody's house. I'm not gonna call it Robin's house anymore, because that it's Kody's house. Kody's house was the McMansion. Kody wanted that house. He got the house. And again, Mary and Janelle didn't gift that money to Robin so that she could buy a house. They gave that money to Kody so he could buy his house. All right. So when they gift that money, it's not necessarily for income tax purposes. You should file it, but if it's cash or something, it really no way to, IRS is really tracking that. But as far as the loan is concerned, when you take out a mortgage, anybody who's ever taken out a mortgage, that when you apply for your mortgage loan, you put in your mortgage application, the bank or financial institution for which you take that loan through, they want to find out if there's any liens on the property. They want to find out if you received a loan to get the down payment to purchase the property. And all those questions are very important to the bank, because they want to be in the first lien position with regard to the loan on the house, which means that if something were to happen to the house, or for some reason the house has to get sold or liquidated, they get paid first. They always want to be in the first lien position on payments from the house. So if, for instance, if they allowed somebody to gift money, Christine or Mary and Janelle, especially, because they're not anything to Kody, right? Because there's no legal definition for baby mama or even an ex-wife. Like, she's the ex-wife. She has no current financial obligation to Kody, and never had obligation to Robin. So if they gave them money and they called it a loan, then Mary and Janelle would be in the first lien position of the McMansion. If Kody and Robin stopped paying their taxes, if they sold that property, they came, seized the property, sold the property, and whatever was left over, Mary and Janelle would get paid before the mortgage company would get paid. And the mortgage company ain't doing that shit. So what they require, if you receive, because they check your bank balances and stuff, and they say, well, where is this money coming from? Oh, that money, that account is actually tied to Kody Brown LLC, and we received a large sum of that money from that account. That's how we came up with the deposit. That I deposited into my personal account, Kody Brown's account, from the Kody Brown LLC. Then the bank is going to see where that money came from. Well, where did Kody LLC get their money from? Oh, it came from 5 houses. Well, we see that there was a certain level of money, and then all of a sudden there was an increase. Yeah, that's because Mary and Janelle, who are also part of Kody Brown LLC, sold their homes and deposited that money into that account. Okay, then how do you get access to it? And unless Mary and Janelle sign over and say that that money was a gift, that they were giving Kody and Robin that money, the bank isn't going to authorize that loan, because that puts Kody Brown, technically it will put Kody Brown LLC in a first lien position. They're not doing that shit. So that's why they listed it as a gift. And that's why part of the reason why even before I was saying that there's no way they're they could really have a hope of getting any of that McMansion money. Because not legally, like there's some screws they could turn, and they could make it very unpleasant for Kody and Robin. But going back and trying to call it a loan or investment now is difficult because they would have had to sign something saying that they gifted it to him, and that's problematic. And Janelle knows that, and because it's not like there's no way they were raised. Janelle is a licensed real estate agent. She's licensed, so she knows that. In order for her to get her certification, for her to get her license, she had to pass the test that has that as part of the test. She knows this. So it's not new information to her. But that's kind of where we are. But yeah, Sharon's spot on. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to sit there and look at, like, who wants to look at a picture of the host, like, making out on the hood of a car, dry humping on a car? Like, what kind of party is this? You know what I mean? Shit, that's something you expect to see at a Puff Daddy party. You know what I'm saying? What the hell am I looking at? What kind of party is this? Don't drink nothing. You know what I mean? Why is all that baby oil all over the place? I'm telling you, you go somewhere like that, you start to get tired, head to your car immediately. Lock that shit. Pow, pow. That might be the only thing to save you. At least they're gonna have to bust the windows to get to you. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's the show for tonight. We had some additional callers. I'm gonna play those next week, and then I'm gonna have to start, calling a little bit just to make sure that we can get everybody in, because I like trying to stay around the 2 hours. I appreciate you guys. Kept it as light as I could. I like to jabber jaw, get my talk in. But I appreciate everybody. I gotta take care of this sinuses. But thank you guys so much. Let's give a huge shout out to the callers for this evening. We had Carmel Cuties leading us off, Zuzu, and Sunny Bunny, Sam, Megatron, Linda. Oh, excuse me. Sharice, not Shanice. Sharice, Tanya Carter, Davy Fuego Fuentes. Then we had Candace, we had Mary, Brittany, and then Sharon. Thank you guys so much. And I also want to recognize folks who left some super chats, and we had a couple more come in. One more come in, or a comment come in. What's this comment? I just have to wonder where two kids doing shopping on their own. That runs towards the negligent side for me. And that would apply to all parents. And that's from Love Soka. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, I used to go shopping, like go to the store for my mom. That's why I'm saying, like, because when we was kids, we would go to the store. They would send us to the store. It was a different time, though. Gen X, different time. We were feral children. We'd go to the store, and they would sometimes say, like, they give you money, and they would have like a list of things that you're supposed to get, and they say, yeah, get something for yourself. And that's how you learn discernment. So if you go in and you see that there's like a piece of candy that you want, or like, they send you in with like $5 or whatever, that's how you also learn how to do math real good. But but you know, count that change, because you depend on that change to get your hookup going. But you turn your money over, you get your money back, you do your transaction or whatever, and you realize that you have a certain amount of money left over. If there's a piece of candy that costs 75 cents, but you only have 50 cents, you learn that, like, okay, there's something else I need to get because I don't have enough for that. Like, you just don't order that piece of candy and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just figure it out when I, get home or whatever. Or, hopefully the guy will be nice to me. Like, it's not dependent on kindness. It's just, trying to learn to be like, we were being taught how to be self-sufficient, and learning that you can't always get what you want. And sometimes you have to wait. Or if you can't afford it, or if, it was something in the store that I really wanted, and it was like, I didn't have enough money, then instead of me getting something this time around, I take that money, the change that she said I could use, I put it in my pocket. I go home, tell them I got the change. I go, I had this, that, other. You didn't get nothing? No, I just saved the change because I want to get something else. My parents, they probably be like, "Here, go, boy, go take your ass to the store, go get what you want. Give me the money, I go get it." The balance. But if not, I'll just take and save it up. And then next time I go, if I have enough, I'll get the thing that I wanted. But you learn how to budget. Like that's also learning how to budget, is learning like the baby steps towards, understanding how budget works, which leads to financial freedom. Because in a lot of cases, because we're not fiscally responsible, or we don't learn how to budget, we don't learn that you can't always have what you want when you want it right away, quick, fast, in a hurry. I got to get it now. Don't forget, I come from the generation layaway. You know what I mean? Like you lay shit away. You have a winter coat, you go visit that mug. All summer, you looking at that. Woo, I'm gonna be killable. Woo, September, I'm getting that bad boy out. Like, you know what I mean? You go with layaway. You learn how to make payments on things. You learn how that you can't have what you want right away. Sometimes you got to save money. Put money aside so you can get the things you want. Don't buy stuff on credit, or I'll do you a favor if I'll lend me the money, I'll do you a favor. These are the kind of things that you try to teach kids. So like I get, like I said, I used to go to the store too. And we learned a lot going to the store, but it was also a little bit of a different time. Not so much when McKelty and them would have been little. I don't know. I might not have felt comfortable. I don't send my kids to the store like that, because I didn't really feel comfortable with the, because you see so much information. That's the problem with being part of the information generation. You see so much online and so much is available to you, and you hear about this stuff happening, and it just seems like everywhere you go, this is all kind of crazy and the world is insane. So you just get scared, so you don't send people out. So yeah, but I see what you're saying, Love Soka. Then we had Melissa Sweetster. I love it. Melissa Sweetster. The $2 super chat said, thank you. Well, thank you, Michelle. Michelle. Oh, you messed that up, James. Yes, I did. With my whole chest. Blew that. Well, thank you very much, Melissa. I appreciate you. Let me give you a little something. For Melissa.
In a plural family.
Not that. Not Robin. I'm not trying to give you Robin. Like, oh, you gonna cuss me? Wrong. Hey, you gonna cuss me? You know what I mean? How dare you?
Emotional damage.
I appreciate you, Michelle. Thank you so much. I just did it again. What the hell? The hour is late, Melissa. The hour is late. I apologize. Oh my goodness. What is wrong with James? But thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Want to give a huge shout out as well to that's why I went in. It's one of them nights, y'all. Give a huge shout out to Kathy Mosley, Michelle Bratz. That's why I kept saying Michelle. Jody Periscala. Then we had Lizzie B gifted one My Take on Reality membership. Ty came through, dropped some knowledge on us. Love Soka, as well as, drum roll please, Melissa in the house. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. As well as, let me give a huge shout out to Lizzie B, Caramel Cuties, or Carmel Cuties, I guess, depending on where you're at, and Brittany, not Brittany, the Mega Mod squad in the house, who are holding things down for us. Let me give you guys all a little something. And thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys check us out. We'll be, if you're a member, we have the Members Roundtable on Saturdays at noon Eastern Standard Time. Come on through, give your opinion. We have a wide range of conversation that we do on Saturdays. It's not just Sister Wives. We talk about everything, and it's awesome. So we have all the members, as many members as I can put at the table. We bring you up, and we all have conversations amongst each other. Then, of course, on Sunday, we're doing the after show. So come through for the after show. We have the after show party, the first reaction. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Thank you so much. Hopefully you had a good time tonight. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys leaving a message. If your message wasn't played tonight, I will play it on next Thursday Speak Pipe. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Have a great night. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been my take on reality. And I'm living life right.
like I could decide any minute. Going for a ride down the side, PCA.